Hi everyone and welcome to Jab and Move with your host Stephen. And what a fight that was. Inoue versus Cardenas. Fantastic fight. We're going to be going through that. Plus I'm going to be speaking very quickly about Usyk versus Dubois too and what I think potentially might play out there. So let's get straight into it. What a fight. Obviously we had huge fights of course over the course of the whole weekend. Canelo, Garcia, Haney, they all didn't live up to the billing. But this is the one I wanted to concentrate on because I thought it was sort of the announcement for Inoue to show actually I'm here. I am one of the pound for pound greats of the modern era. Come and look at me, see what I can do. And also it was a huge chance for Cardenas to upset the apple cart and actually say that I am the big dog now in this division. So let's go through it. Let's see what you guys thought. It was a fantastic fight. The first couple of rounds were enthralling. I think obviously Inoue started very fast. So did Cardenas on the counter punching. I mean, the first couple of rounds, I would have said it could have gone either way, 2-2. But obviously, on the end of that second round, with the inside left from Cardenas onto Inoue, changed it completely. I think people seen that he was rocked, and he can be rocked at times because he does go in for the kill. So he is suspect to that occasional knockdown, and I think people didn't realise that as much from Inoue. He's not as much he is a phenomenally fantastic technical boxer, but he also likes a brawl, and he says he likes a brawl, and I think that's the thing. He invites that much pressure on himself because he wants to go and fight. But again, it pays off so much, and this is why he has such a high knockout ratio to his fights. So yeah, he got knocked down in the second. Cardenas was on top at that point. By the third and stuff, I think again, you could have given that one to Cardenas. And then it sort of changed a bit. I think at that point, Inoue sort of sussed him out. He kind of worked out when he was going to be throwing the dangerous right and the dangerous left inside jabs. And he was able to maneuver himself, dodge them, and then obviously continue with his... The big thing for me was his jabbing. It was a phenomenal, ferocious jabbing continuously. And then I think also it's just combination play. Every time he got in, it was 4, 5, 6, 7 punches, and it wouldn't stop for complete all the way through to obviously the knockdown in round 8. But Cardenas was tough. He was agile. He still had a chance all the way up, I think it was round 7 when obviously he got rocked. I think obviously at that point the writing was on the wall. But even in sort of 5 and 6, you could see he was still counter-punching really well. And he was getting the shots in. And occasionally he was not rocking Inoue, but you could see Inoue felt it. But again, it was just that ferocious combinations by Inoue. The ferocious pressure by Inoue, just ferocious appetite from Inoue to get in there and get the kill and get that knockout. Now I thought this was going to go to points. I thought Cardenas would have been knocked down a few times, which again it proved to be fair that it was going to be the case if the fight would have carried on. But I had him as winning comfortably on points. But again, Cardenas proving his worth as a fighter and actually that he could stand toe to toe with some of the best. And I think that played out that night. Like I said, Cardenas didn't do himself any harm whatsoever. He will fight some of the biggest and best in that division now. It's just the fact that he's come across one of the pound for pound greats in Inoue, and unfortunately he couldn't get over the line. But to do what he did in the first few rounds and to rock him so much just proves how much of a quality fighter Cardenas is, and also what a tough man he is, because he took an awful lot of damage during that fight. You know, he got hit a lot in the body. He got a lot of clean jabs and clean hooks on him, but he was able to swallow it up for the first sort of 6 rounds. Then it all kind of went from there. But he's done himself no harm. He's a really good fighter, and it was a fantastic fight. Like I said, it was worth staying up for. Inoue and Cardenas brought it, and it was the fight of the weekend, let's be honest, because, well, maybe Teofimo Lopez on the undercard did some more and it was attitude and stuff, but I would say Inoue Cardenas was fight of the weekend. It was fantastic, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, amazing for Cardenas. He's in the picture now. He's going to be fighting against some of the best in that division, and he's put himself on the map. And for Inoue, it's just consistent great. It's just continuous greatness now. Where is he going to go next? Is he going to go up and weight and dominate another weight division? Is he going to stay and continually dominate the super bantamweight division? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Very quickly, I just want to touch on what we've heard this week. Obviously, Usyk versus Dubois 2. I haven't touched on it just yet because I wanted to sort of get my thoughts on it and see potentially what other people were thinking as well. And again, I'm absolutely not surprised because it's the absolute hype of a UK fighter again, which, yes, we love the British fighters, but this is just getting me on the joke now. We've had Joshua 1, and then by Joshua 2, they were like, he's different, he's changed, he's going to come in better, he's going to do more, and he didn't. Usyk adapted, changed, and again, got him out there. We had Fury 1, which, all due respect, the referee should have stopped and had him out as a knockout. The only reason he didn't was because it was for the undisputed, and the referee didn't do it. and he should have at that point. I don't care what anyone says, he was out and cold, he should have had him out, but he didn't. Doesn't matter. He came back in the second fight. Everyone again all of a sudden said, Fury's going to get him, he's going to turn the tables, it's going to go to a trilogy. And what did Usyk do? He adapted, he changed, he went again. Now, I think this is going to be exactly the same with Dubois. Dubois was coming, he's given his best shot, and yes, it is a different Dubois, and we'll talk about that in a second, but Usyk's changed again. He's got the better of it. He's had 9 rounds with Dubois. You know, he knows what his play is. We know what his play is going to be. He isn't going to outbox the man. He isn't going to outmaneuver the man. He's got to get him out of there. So he's got to go for the knockout. Now, does he build into the fight and try and go for the knockout later rounds? Possibly. Will the engine last that long? We're not so sure. Maybe, but again, he's got to start fast and he's got to get those rounds ticking over, because if Usyk claims the first few rounds, then he can just go into sort of maintenance mode and just tick them off bit by bit, like he did with Fury a couple of times, like he did with Joshua. So for me personally, I think Usyk is a heavy favourite. Yes, it'd be amazing for a British boxer to be undisputed champion, but do I think Dubois is going to beat Usyk right now? Not right now. No, I really don't. I don't see a situation here where he does. Yes, he is a changed fighter. Yes, Dubois has massively grown as a fighter. I think he has fantastic. I was one of the few people when I spoke to, obviously, like I say, friends and stuff before, that said in numerous groups that he was going to go and win against Joshua and put his name on the map. And he did that. He has come back from that Usyk defeat phenomenally. Like I say, he has grew as a person and as a boxer, and I don't care what anyone says, I think he gave up mentally. He left the ring on that night against Usyk, and I would always say he did mentally leave that ring. But what he did was, he gathered himself, he went back to the drawing board, and him and his trainer went back and started again, started fresh. They went back to Baby Miller, and again, it got difficult in the middle rounds. He pushed through and he got it, and I think that was a big turning point. Hrgovic, again, it was a struggle at the start, got through it, then went on to dominate. And Joshua, we all know what happened there, pure domination through the fight. So that was a huge turning point for him, and he needed that loss. He needed that uncomfortable time where people were saying he choked, he failed, you know, he gave up. He needed that time to grow as a fighter. Has he grown enough to beat Usyk? For me right now, I don't think so. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Like I say, this is now July 19th, 16th, I think it is. So it's a couple of months away now. What do we think is going to happen there? Please get your early thoughts in. Please let me know your thoughts to the Inoue Cardenas fight. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It was fantastic. And it was fight of the weekend. So you're not going to be disappointed with spending some time watching that. And, you know, if, I don't know, the missus or the half or whatever's doing your nuts in, go and watch it and see what you think. Anyway, guys, take care. Have a lovely evening. See you on the next video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.